Hey guys, it's Liv here, bringing you guys our GDL Week 7 game. We're taking on MaxRapture, coach of the Tasmanian Toxicroaks. If you guys enjoy, of course, leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And with that being said, let's just get right into it. So, my opponent is a pretty scary team. He has Dracovish, Tangrowth, Cobalion, Silvally, Gardevoir, Rhyperior, Corsola, Galarian form, Umbreon, Ditto, Jolteon, and Gmax Orbeetle. So I think Gmax Orbeetle is a fake Gmax Mon, but it's cool for webs, I guess. It's really there if you don't want to use a Gmax Mon. Jolteon, I think, is also an unpick. The other 9, though, are pretty scary. I think the other 9 100% come. I think Orbeetle also kind of has to come just because it's a Gmax and it kind of has to take a hit. Even if it's just a bad Mon, I think it kind of has to come just for that reason. So knowing that, I was pretty easily able to narrow down what Mons I think of those 10 come and what ones don't. Ditto I think is pretty mandatory. If you look at my team, everything sets up. So Ditto I think is a mandatory. Dracovish is Dracovish, so it's also a mandatory. Tangrowth I think probably can bench if it needed to, but I get why it can't. So we'll bench it for now. Cobalion I think has to come. Cobalion is very mandatory for a Zarude check. Gardevoir I think probably comes, but again, I don't think it's guaranteed. Silvally does come. I skipped over that. Silvally has to come. So Dracovish, Cobalion, Silvally, and Ditto are mandatory. Then we get into a lot more of the probablys, and I think stuff like Umbreon is a probably, to avoid getting Toxic stalled by anything fat, like Blastoise, because defensive Blastoise kind of has to come against Dracovish. I think Corsola probably comes, but it's also really easy to take advantage of, so I could get it being bench. Rhyperior, I think, is going to be the rock of this game, if not Cobalion. And I think that, as I mentioned, that Gardevoir is a probably too. So Gardevoir through Umbreon are all probablys. Orbeetle is a definite, I think, just because it's Orbeetle. So it's really just Orbeetle, Ditto, Cobalion, Silvally, Dracovish, and then one of the 4 probablys that I think come. I think Tangrowth kind of benches by process of elimination, but it is still a good Mon here. I'd get if it came. It's AV if it comes, though. No question about it. Grass Silvally basically just does this job better this game at checking Blastoise, so I don't anticipate it coming. Looking at this matchup, though, knowing this in advance makes this really easy to take advantage of. First up on the team, we have Haxorus with a Life Orb Adamant nature. We have Swords Dance, Close Combat, Scale Shot, and Poison Jab. So if we pull up Haxorus' moveset here, and our EVs. So the EVs basically for Haxorus were set with 228 speed, we're going to create Gardevoir guaranteed. Scale Shot at +1, we're outpacing everything because Silvally is not running a Scarf this game. Only possible Scarf one that outpaces Cobalion, but Cobalion's not running a Scarf this game. It kind of needs to be like a leftover set, to be honest. Close Combat, dents the team. With Swords Dance, we KO Umbreon. So we Swords Dance, kill something, then Umbreon can't even foul play us because we're just going to kill it. Poison Jab is here specifically for Gardevoir. If it's not a Scarf Gardevoir, we kind of just win the game once we get the +2 up, to be honest, because nothing can kill us. Maybe like a Scarf Dracovish could out revenge us, but otherwise, I mean, there's really nothing. And if you get that Scale Shot off, we honestly might be even more sad than if we SD. So yeah, this Mon is kind of terrifying. One of the 2 Mons I'm really banking on winning this game flat out off of. The other Mon being Zarude. We have Leftovers, Adamant Nature. We have Darkest Lariat, Substitute, Drain Punch, and Bulk Up. The 196 HP plus 36 Speed F. This should help us keep subs and stuff like Jolteon, for example. The 28 is def means at +1 we can take a hit from Scarf Dracovish behind a sub, and at +2 we can take a hit from Banded Dracovish behind a sub. Drain Punch is great for stuff like Umbreon, for example. Since Umbreon can't really touch us anyway with foul play, we're also keeping that up guaranteed with their sub, which is why we have the lower attack. 84 should help to KO a lot of things at +1 or +2. Drain Punch is really spammable against this team. Lariat is here specifically for Corsola, Drain Punching quite literally everything else besides maybe Gardevoir, and then Orbeetle as well. But those both get Lariated to all hell and back. With the sub up as well, Ditto can't even copy my boost, so he would need to break my sub and then transform into Ditto, which even then, if I have a sub up, he's now forced to Drain Punch, which means that's what he's locking into. Whereas I have switched into that, such as I have a couple of Mons. My next 2 Mons actually both switch in very well on that. And if he goes for Lariat, then I have my Mon 6 to switch in on that. So I have a lot of Mons I can switch in if Ditto decides to copy this. So it can't even successfully do that in this game, which is great, because this quite literally just take advantage of his entire team. Haxorus is a lot scarier if he takes advantage of that with Ditto, but I do still have counterplay, which I'll get into in a bit. Next Mon up, we have Rocky Helmet Blastoise. With Bold Nature, we're 236 speed with a Bold Nature. This should creep Adamant Dracovish guaranteed. Basically, my thought process is he's either going Adamant Band or Adamant Scarf, but he never really runs Jolly for anything on my team unless if he's specifically worried about Blastoise. And it would specifically be Blastoise creeping Dracovish. So, I felt like I could take advantage of this. 28 BizDef Bold plus 244 HP. If I Rapid Spin on a Scarf Triggerfish, it's quite literally going to mean that I can Life Dew on it, because it'll do 26 point, like, I think it's 26.9 peak with Adamant Scarf. If it's Adamant Band, then at the very least I'm going to outpace, and again it's going to do like a third, and I can just go for Scald Burns, or I can go for Life Dew, and it'll kill itself off with Rocky Helmet, which is pretty nice. I just need a Rapid Spin off, and I start guarantee getting off these things. So we'll take that. Scald is really, really free against this team. Tang is like the only switch into it. And even then, if Tang gets Scald Burned at the very least, it's not a huge deal. But Toxic is probably going to be a lot more ideal there, just because I can Toxic stall it with stuff like Zarude later on, which makes it only more manageable. Not that Zarude really fears Tang, it really only fears it if he brings Sludge Wave or Focus Blast, which means he was dedicating it to Zarude, which I still have other mons that can kill it, such as this. So yeah, I feel pretty confident. Next up on the team, we have Charge Bug, Beep Beep, we're bringing the Bus again. This Bus set is going to be a lot more reliable than the one against Matt. We have Sub-Toxic, Discharge, and Sticky Web. Our spread is EV'd to sub on Umbreon pretty efficiently. Not only that, but we have 12 SpitF, which I believe 12 SpitF was for... I want to say it was for Cobalion. Yeah, I think it was for like Special Cobalion and Physical Cobalion. The only Cobalion that can actually break our sub, even without a Violet, mind you, is Stone Edge Cobalion. So we can actually sub on Cobalion pretty freely as well, which is great because it's going to be the Zarude check. Sub-Toxic as well just allows me to just take hits better and stall out his team easier. Discharge is really free with the sub as well, because it means we can discharge Dragovish, potentially para it, which is even better for us. Sticky Webs help a ton with Dragovish as well if it's Scarf, because it makes it basically useless against my entire team. And if it's banned with Dragovish, then it makes it outpaced by basically my entire team, which means that I just start denting it. And hell, if I get a discharge pair on it, I can probably even outpace with Hat. So that just goes to show how good the para is, especially with webs. With webs, I'll guarantee do it. I think without webs, though, it's like depending on the creep. Regardless, though, his only switch into electric is Rhyperior and Jolteon, and I Toxic both of those pretty freely as well. In fact, I'm pretty sure I keep a sub versus Jolteon still. I don't know the calc on that, though, but I think I would. 116 speed, I believe this was to creep Rhyperior, so I Toxic it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it would definitely be to creep Rhyperior, so I Toxic it. That would have been what I did that for. Regardless, though, this mon is pretty good this game. Like, really, really good this game, actually. So, yeah, I'm hoping to bust some heads in. Actually, you know what? The speed was for Tang. The speed was for Tang. So I can Toxic it before it went for, like, a Rock Slide or something. So, yeah. Next up on the team, we have G-Max Hatterene with our Level Ball, of course. Sassy Nature, 244 HP plus 132 speed def. Sassy should help us chew through Gardevoir hits, because Gardevoir is probably the most threatening mon on the team. 132 special attack with Trick Room up. We should start plowing stuff with Gleam, Mystical Fire, and Shadow Ball. His switches to them are quite literally non-existent. So I just get up a Trick Room and I just start clicking buttons. This should claim like 2 or 3 kills. So yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory. I don't think there's any reason to explain too much on this. Should explain itself. It's Hat. We'd use it every week. Next up, finally, we have him on top with a Lumberry, Jolly Nature. We have Mach Punch, Close Combat, Toxic, and Rapid Spin. With Rapid Spin at +1, we're starting to outpace any sort of logical Scarf Dragovish, which would come to creep something like Zam, for example. We have a 188 attack. This should, I believe this was to kill Umbreon guaranteed with Close Combat, even if it's Fizz Def. Might have been for Rhyperior or Cobalion, but I'm pretty sure it's for Umbreon. Regardless, though, Toxic is extremely free against this team. He has no Poison type, actually, so unless he's bringing Poison Silvally, his only switch-ins are Cobalion or Steel Silvally if it's not Poison, which means that he's taking fighting damage at that point with Close Combat. So Lum Toxic was pretty nice. Also with Lum Toxic, I can get around Umbreon Synchronized poisoning me, which is huge for longevity on this. Plan is basically to probably lead this and then just start clicking Toxic on stuff, and depending on what he brings, depends on if I sack it or keep it. Most likely though, I'll keep this around until Cobalion dies or Umbreon dies, but if neither come, I'm just gonna click it turn 1 and just start spamming Toxic until I die. But yeah, so that's the team though. Hopefully you guys enjoy the battle, and we'll see you guys in the match. Peace out. Hey guys, it's Liv here. We're here bringing you guys our GDL Week 7 game. We're taking on MaxRapture, coach of the Tasmanian Toxicroaks. It's a bit scary because of a couple mons, as we mentioned in our team builder. Max brings Jolteon. That was literally... I mentioned this in my team builder, but that was literally the only mon I thought couldn't come. Dracovish comes, that's pretty not surprising. Corsola Galar comes, not surprising. Or Beetle G-Max comes. A little bit surprised, I guess, compared to what didn't come. But not too surprising. Rhyperior comes, that doesn't shock me at all. Rhyperior is really good here. And Silvally comes. So, the Savali and the Dragovich do not surprise me. Rhyperior does a tad. Corsola does a tad. Looking at my matchup, I'm shocked no Umbreon. But Umbreon was like a very, like, it could maybe come, it could maybe not come. I'm very shocked no Cobalion, however, but I'll take that. I am also shocked no Gardevoir, but I'll take that as well. Tangrowth means that I honestly might just sweep with Zarude, since it's gone, to be honest. Unless it's a grass-type Silvally. In terms of a lead, I think I honestly just get a really free Hitmontop lead. I don't want to lead off with Charge Bug necessarily, because I think that I benefit a lot more from leading Hitmontop. It's just a really middle ground play. And if Corsola does lead, I have switch-ins like Hat, for example. So I don't really mind leading off with Hitmontop, truthfully. I'm also shocked no Ditto, because if I get the +2 off, I just click Scale Shot once, and I sweep, unless that's a Fairy Silvally. So I should be good. Okay, so Orbeetle leads off. That's perfectly expected. A little bit annoying, but it is expected nonetheless. Since there is no Cobalion, however, I'm inclined to honestly just Toxic turn 1. If he goes for Webs, so be it. But I don't mind if he goes for Webs. He found out my Lumberry, not a huge deal. I'm gonna Toxic turn 1. I can Rapid Spin any Webs away. So yeah, we'll see what happens. He's Frisk Orbeetle as well. That was to be expected because Orbeetle's other abilities are pretty useless. He's 100% going for Webs turn 1. I'm not at all upset by that because, as I said, I just Rapid Spin. We do also outpace, which is fine. As I said, oh, he's going for Iron Defense. Okay. I am also fine with this. For some reason, I typed out Iron Defense and it looks wrong. D-E-F-E-N-S-E. For some reason, that looks wrong to me. I don't know why. Like, I know it's right, but it feels wrong. Regardless, in all honesty, I don't want to switch in on a potential Body Press. Bust could probably take a hit, but I don't want to stupidly switch it in case of a Toxic. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Rapid Spin and just get some chip on this. Because Close Combat might unironically do less than that. Let me check real quick, though. +2, we did no damage. Not at all surprising. Orbeetle. +2 defense. So yeah, Rapid Spin actually unironically does more damage. It does no damage, but it is more nonetheless. And we also don't drop our defenses. Even with the +1, Orbeetle might not even kill us with a Psychic move. Unless if it's max special attack, actually it could. He's probably going for Stored Power, which is fine. Because, as I said, I don't lose anything by doing this. Because I'm Toxic stalling him down. He's going to kill himself off. Or Zarude can at least come in and revenge off with Lariat. Best benefit of having a non-knockoff Dark is I don't need to choke running knockoff when I can just run Lariat every week. So that is an actual benefit Zarude has. Burrow, if you want me to compliment Zarude, that is as close as you're getting to one. Unless it sweeps this week. I looked over my matchup preview. This is honestly probably the last week I'll be able to do anything with Zarude. So, Burgo, if it doesn't do anything this week, you're not getting it to do anything all season. He's going for another Calm Mind. That's perfectly fine. He's going to probably recover next turn and then G-Max, if I had to guess. Which I don't mind him doing, in all honesty. I'm perfectly content with that. If he has Recover, he's Mono Attack, and he's either going to get walled by Zarude or he's going to get walled by, like, half my Mont. If he's not Mono Attack, then he has no Recovery and he's dying in 2 turns. So I don't mind either way. Orbeetle's gonna G-Max here, perfectly fine. So that means he is gonna die in like 2-3 turns. Actually, you know what? The G-Max will probably stall it enough for 3 turns. But it's still no big deal. Honestly, even this being +2/+2, because as I said, Lariat's just gonna do a fuck ton to it. Just to make sure, I am gonna creep Jolly, right? Oh, fuck. I don't creep Jolly Zarude. Oh, I don't creep Jolly Orbeetle, or Timid Orbeetle. You know what? It's slower than my Hitmontop. I don't know why I was worried about that. Okay. It was slower than my Hitmontop. That's 128. And he is Flutterby. Okay. So, even in G-Max, Orbeetle should take... Ooh, that takes it well, to be honest. Okay, well, not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. We didn't even die to the Flutterby. We do know it's, like, Mono Flutterby. He would have killed me if it wasn't. The fact that we took that so well anyway is pretty nice. Not gonna lie. We're just gonna Rapid Spin again, to be honest. We might even 1v1 this with him on top, truthfully. Just because of how much we're doing, well, how little we're doing, I should say, but also how little he's doing in turn. Just gonna go for another Flutterby, perfectly fine by me. As I said, he's doing like no damage at all. To where I think we actually kill it next turn. If not, we burned his entire G-Max on this, and I'm content with that as well. So, oh yeah, no, he's dying next turn, 100%. Okay. I am perfectly content attacking this. If this is the 1v1 I needed to make to kill Orbeetle, I'm fine with it. This is Hitmontop's first time being on the field all season, even though I've brought it to 3 games now. And it took down a G-Max Orbeetle. So I'll take that. I think that Hitmontop has done its work for this season. It made up for the 2 games it sat on the bench. Hitmontop, 1-1. Orbeetle. Oh, no, he crit me! Orbital G-Max 1-1. We took down the Orbital G-Max already. That means no webs as well for the rest of the game. So it's only my webs now, and his only removal is Savali. So keep that in mind, of course. If I was my opponent, I'd 100% go hard into Jolteon right now. Which is why I am going to go into... Oh, wow. He doesn't have a Haxorus switch. I'm going to not go hard Haxorus anyway. And I'm going to go hard Zarude? Yeah, I'm going to go hard Zarude. Because realistically, nothing on the team really pressures it. If Corsola comes in, I sub on it. I saw it at turn 1, and I set up for game. If Jolteon comes in, it's not doing shit to me. Its best play is quite literally Toxic. If Dracovish comes in, it has to be Scarfed. So we came in first. I think that means we outpace. If Dracovish comes in... okay, Savali D. I think this might actually be Steel. Like, even, like, just not, like, falling for the bluff. I think this might be Steel. Yeah, it is Steel. Okay. So. Savali Steel going for U-turn. U-turn wouldn't kill. Okay. U-turn wouldn't kill. So I'm gonna go for Drain Punch here and just scout. I feel like U-turn is the obvious play. But if U-turn from a Jolly set won't kill me, what's gonna kill me? I do half with Drain Punch anyway. Realistically, whatever comes in is gonna take a chunk. So even if this does outpace, I'm fine with that. I'm not losing anything. So we're outpacing the Silvally at least, which is good. We are doing around half. This is definitely a bulkier spread though. Multi-attack. Okay, so I think the plan here is to go for a bulk up. I don't see why I wouldn't go for a bulk up, to be honest. I go for a bulk up into Drain Punch, and I kill something. If Jolteon comes in, it can't do shit to me because the best way to hit me is literally Thunder. Yeah, so it does 29% with Thunder. It couldn't even guarantee break my sub with the Specs Thunder, to put it in perspective. So I'm not worried about Jolteon, and everything else should underpace. Silvally Steel. Okay. So this being +1, even if it goes for U-turn here, goes for Parting Shot. Okay, honestly, that was probably the best case scenario. I'm still +1 defense, which is the more important stat that I was running this for, in all honesty. We've now scouted its multi-attack, Steel, and Parting Shot, which also means it doesn't have U-turn, which is even better. If Rhyperior comes in, I'm subbing. If Corsola comes in, I'm subbing. If Dracovish comes in, I'll go hard Blastoise, to be honest. If Jolteon comes in, I'm gonna sub. Corsola comes in. Okay, perfect. So I think this is where we win. Unless if Corsola has a way to break our sub guaranteed, which if it does, then that was really good prep on Max's part, dedicating this specifically for that. But yeah, no, I think this is where we set up for game. So Burgo, if this does actually pop off, I'll give it thumbnail, and I'll at you. You'll have known, because I'll at you in BBL telling you to watch this week. I'll tell you to keep an eye on the week. So you'll already know, I guess. But everyone else, this will be a surprise to. We're gonna go for a sub here. We had a really free sub. Nightshade shouldn't even guarantee break, so we're gonna get a nice... okay, perfect. So, we're gonna be +2 now. That's really nice. How much should we actually do to Corsola neutral? Oh, that's right, you know what? We're neutral. Again, the more important stat is a defense sub, and Dracovish can potentially not even break our sub. Without boost, I mean, we're still doing like a third. I'm gonna bulk up here. He needs 2 Nightshades to break our sub, and a bulk up is just really, really free against this Corsola. This is specifically why I thought Cobalion would come, like a special Cobalion. I thought this set personally did really well matchup-wise against Max's team. Because I literally just need Drain Punch and Darkest Lariat, and I beat the whole team. In theory, I guess. Especially with sub as well, I can get around Ditto, which is great. I have Revenge Killers for this too. So yeah, Nightshade's going off, that's fine, it's not gonna break a sub. If it did, then they changed the Nightshade mechanics. So yeah, it doesn't break a sub. So perfectly fine with that. We're gonna now at +1. Do we Lariat here? I think we Lariat here. Yeah, we're gonna Lariat here. Being +1 attack, honestly, that's huge versus the rest of the team. And then we can keep the +2 defense. We can keep ourselves as healthy as possible, so we can set up more subs, etc., etc. So Zarude's gonna go on a tear. He's gonna switch out here, which is perfectly fine. He's going to sack Jolteon. Okay, well, I'm sorry for Jolteon, because even if this thing takes it, it's gonna give me more HP next turn. Okay, so it does take it. All right. Well, I'll admit that's impressive. I am gonna sub here though, because whatever Jolteon clicks, it's probably gonna let me get up. It's probably gonna try and attack me just to break the sub and pivot into something like Dracovish, for example. Which is, I'm fine with. So yeah, it goes for Thunderbolt, perfectly fine. This has to be a Specs Thunderbolt to guarantee break my sub again. So even if it's a Life Orb, it's probably not gonna break. At least after this turn, I should say. Okay, so we don't know what this Jolteon is. The fact that it didn't die to a +1 Lariat, this is a fat Jolteon at the very least. That is a fat Jolteon. Okay. So. Could be fat modest specs. I don't know though. I'm gonna click Drain Punch anyway. I get a really free Drain Punch here. This is specs, it's gonna break. Especially if it's modest specs, it's gonna break. Sub took damage, not very effective. And the sub is not broken. Okay, perfect. So Jolteon's gonna die. Jolteon 0-1. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So, next up, we are going to go for probably literally just the Darkest Lariat. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Just had a family member I need to text real quick. Okay, so Jolteon is gone, which is huge because now he honestly can't break Blastoise. Blastoise could also go on a tear. Looking at it. Okay, so Rhyperior comes in now. I'm going to let me calculate Punch real quick versus Rhyperior. Okay, so +1 Drain Punch is like nothing. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna click it anyway. I think I'm gonna click Bulk Up on accident, but I think we click Drain Punch. Drain Punch is gonna go off. It's gonna do like no damage. Yeah, okay, so that's like a quarter. Holy shit. All right. Well, not a huge deal. Rhyperior is expected to be the wall to this particular set at this point in the game compared to the rest of his draft. Let's see, +2 Poison Jab. How much does that actually do? Ooh. So even if he's adamant, and there's no way he was with how well he took that, he might not even break our sub, which is great. So he's leftovers at the very least. We know that much. He took around a quarter. We could honestly probably sub again. If he does break the sub again, I'm gonna go for a bulk up because then we definitely do take it because he has leftovers. So yeah, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it. If he's not adamant, if he's like adamant no attack, for example, he's taking like, there's a very small chance he could break us up. But it really just depends. Do we take it? Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go for another bulk up. Because after another bulk up, we're gonna be at +3, and then we're gonna start like really doing a lot of damage. So yeah, we're just gonna go for it. Why not? We're gonna go for a bulk up here. Let's see. So we're gonna go for one more, and then I'm just gonna start plowing. I don't really have a reason to set up further than +3. The +3 is really just in case if that Poison Jab was a roll, so I don't have to keep subbing versus it if he breaks the roll. From here, it should be guaranteed. Because just +3, even if he's max attack adamant, he's not breaking my sub. It does literally just enough to guarantee a keep. So he would have to crit us at this point. And with the sub up, I mean, I start destroying his team. So, for example, Drain Punch should probably be doing around a 3rd min. Even if he is, like, Fizz Death, I should be doing around a 3rd min. Let's see. Yeah, even versus a Impish set, 31.6 min at +2. So yeah, I'm just gonna click Drain Punch at this point. Even if he goes hardcore, so it's really just delaying. I do get up a sub every other turn versus this thing. I have no point to bulk up anymore. I just attack. If Silvally comes in, it's probably going to die at this point because we're +2, and it already took so much last time. If Dracofish comes in, honestly, that might die too at this point, to be honest. Of course, Corsola comes in, that also might... Well, that'll die to Lariat next turn, to be honest, because we're +2 now. If it doesn't die to Lariat, I'm just going to be cutting it close. Yeah, okay, so we did around, like, 40%. So this isn't, like, max Def Rhyperior by any means, but it's definitely defensive enough to where... Well, it's also enough HP invested to where we're going to gain back enough to get up a sub every time. So, yeah, we're just gonna sub. There's no reason to get the poison, to be honest. Zarude has the game in the bag, and I'll be honest, I've showed off way too much in my mat game. I kind of just need a clean win, to be honest. So we're gonna go for it. Sorry to Max. I know, obviously, this is not the most fun game to sit through, but I need to make up for my loss last week. My last loss was not a good one. So I need to go for it. Also, I need to make Burgo happy. Burgo is going to be very upset if I don't go for this. And I don't want Burgo crying, because then he's going to cry to BBL, and that's not going to be fun. Okay, so yeah, he just toxic there. He just gave me he essentially just gave me the win by doing that. Which, shout outs to Max for at least making it not be quicker. All right, not take as longer than it needs to. I think Max realizes that this is over at this point. He even DM'd me like 5 minutes ago, GG. So Max realizes this as much as I do. So I respect Max for at least not delaying any further than it needs to be. So Max is a real one for that, at least. But this game is over at this point. I could literally cut the recording here. You guys would know it's a 5-0, unless he would literally need to crit me like repeatedly to win the game at this point, which he could. He would need to crit me like 3 or 4 times in a row though, because I'm clicking Drain Punch here, so I would get like 3 or 4 more subs out of that, just from this one Drain Punch turn and leftovers alone. So he would need to crit me like 4 times to have any chance at winning us. Which, even if he does, I mean, I still have Hat in the back, which he doesn't break that well anyway, because I get up a Trick Room and win. Because Silvally took enough chip. It's like, I have so many win cons at this point. I don't even, like, even then, if I kill this, Charge Bug could do enough to where I could pressure his team with Blastoise. All I need is a Webs Up, and Silvally never really gets removal versus my team, I guess. So yeah, we're literally just Drain Punching at this point. I don't know what Max is doing. I think Max might be just trying to wait out the timer, which, I mean, again, do what you gotta do, I guess. It's not gonna save diff, but I mean, he might just be trying to talk through something. Or just stall me out because I'm stalling him out, which in that case, I mean, that's also fair. I do still respect that play as well. But I don't really know what it changes, I guess. Because it is still a 5-0 win at the end of the day. So yeah, he's going for Toxic Can. Okay, so yeah, no, Max is 100% throwing in the towel here. Which again, I do respect him for at least ending the game. And I'll take mercy on him for that, at least. And well, that sounds like a really dick way to put it. I'll end the game quicker for that. Obviously, I'm not gonna like set it to +6 or anything. There's no point in doing that, because if he picks up that I'm doing that and crits through me and again gets me into that scenario, I've kind of thrown out an unnecessary differential point. So I'm just gonna finish this off. There's no point in stalling us out. I'm really glad that I thought of this set. I've been really burnt on building lately, so I'm really glad I was able to think of a set like this. Been a while since I thought of a set on my own, to be honest, that does this much work, but I'll take it. I no longer hate Zarude as much, which is kind of nice, because I'll probably uploaded it by now, but I just drafted it in Hive. If I haven't uploaded it by now, I spoiled 1 mon out of 11, but I did just draft this in Hive, so I'm glad that it's at least not bombing. At this point, we're just gonna spam Lariat, in case he switches in Corsola. Again, just to not stall the game. We're at full HP anyway. There's no reason not to just click Lariat. Truthfully, I could have probably just clicked Lariat earlier. I would have, like, when he was clicking Toxic, I think Lariat actually does 5% more looking at the calcs. So I would have probably just been better off doing that because of Solid Rock. But it is what it is. I mean, it literally does not matter at this point. +2 Lariat should destroy the team. We're +3 defense anyway, so I don't even think Dracofish would break my sub. And even then, it's probably banded. So Zarude is 2-0. Rhyperior 0-1. Hatterene, G-Max. I'm just gonna mark down the rest of the mons, just because I can do it at this point. Worst comes to worst, I start adding in deaths and kills other places, but I'm at least gonna add the mons in. There's no point in waiting to do that till later. Darkest Lariat again, because it's the only mod I can click against this. Let's see. Oh yeah, Charge Bug is the last one. Too bad Charge Bug didn't get to pop off. I really thought the leftovers Charge Bug was going to do a lot of work here, especially without Cobalion. Rhyperior would have been a pain in the ass for it, to be fair, but like it still could have torn. If he does Curse Body me here, that's going to suck. Okay, so yeah, he doesn't even... Okay, yeah, no, he's thrown in the towel at this point. If I got Curse Bodied there, he would have had a bit of a chance, but I mean, that was his only goal at that point. And even then, he might not even have it. I think Curse, like, it's like 3 abilities. Let's see. So, Savali 0-1, and then Dragovish 0-1. Yeah, no, okay. So, should be a 5-0 win at least, which I'll take that. He's quite literally banking on, though, Curse body popping off. And then hoping I can't kill him for some reason with other stuff. Though I think, again, like, Dragovish, even if it's, like, max HP. Oh, holy shit, we do no damage to Dragovish. Okay, so yeah, if we did get Curse body, I wasn't even looking at my screen, I was looking at the calcs. But Dragovish does also take the hit. To be fair, he needs to click Outrage, or he needs either click Outrage, click Leech Life, or he needs to be Scarfed. Leech Life would still destroy me. I don't know why I didn't go into this sooner, truthfully, but I'll take it. Dark Slayer is disabled. Okay, so fuck. He's gonna probably take this really well, actually. In fact, if he has Leech Life on his spread, he's probably gonna, like, just... Okay, so he's special. Okay. I'll take it, because it's like I'm walling it, but yeah, no, shit. And yeah, okay, so this isn't a bulky Dragovish. It's bulky enough to make that a 3-8 KO, though, which is what I was fearing, but it is what it is. It's not a huge deal. Like, it's legitimately over at this point. Because even if it's not choiced, it is... Oh, you know what? It's Scarfed. Okay, so it... Yeah, alright, so it's Scarfed into Surf. Why would he have brought Surf against my team? I'm kind of curious on that one, actually. Let me look at my matchup. What would he have brought Surf for? Oh, you know what? It might have been for Steelix. It might have been for, like, an Iron Defense Steelix. I mean, that's cool tech if that's what it's for. I don't know what else it could have been for, but, like, if it was for that, that's pretty cool tech, to be honest. Dragovish does still have a really good special attack stat, so, I mean, it's not a bad bring. I was just confused by it. I genuinely didn't know what it was for. But it was probably for Steelix, because an Iron Defense Steelix, I guess if I got the +2 off, could have probably just body pressed this thing and done 1 billion damage. Let me actually check that real quick, because I'm kind of curious now. Let me see. So, Steelix versus Dragovish. Body press with relaxed. Oh, yeah, and you know what? That does, like, if he's not bulky Dragovish, that does, like, 83 to 98, so he could have probably just died after rocks flat out. So yeah, no, that makes sense why he brought the Surf, to be honest. Because Vicious Rend, yeah, even a banded Vicious Rend to that wouldn't have killed at the +2. So I get the Surf play, because Surf probably still does, well, I mean, I guess Surf probably still does less, yeah. Like, a non-choice, like, this is Scarfed. Vicious Rend actually does slightly more, but I guess if he's, like, mixed invested, Surf does, like, 70%, so. Whatever. It really doesn't make a difference at this point. I was just kind of trying to figure out the semantics of it, I guess. Because, I mean, I can at this point. But yeah, so we're gonna, yeah, okay, so sub finally faded, but it's really not gonna matter. Savali can't kill me in one hit. I'm +3. There's literally no attack Savali gets to this point that can kill me. So yeah, and then as a +2 Drain Punch 100% guarantees a kill. We did 40% last time, so we should be guaranteeing a kill at this point. So I am sorry to Max for the set. I'm really sorry for that. For anyone who doesn't enjoy watching drawn out endgames that are pretty much over, I'm sorry about that as well. But I mean, it's like I'm literally like 1 win away from clinching. I want to just get it over with. I have to play Die and near end of season. I think it's actually next week. That's gonna be AIDS. DRA's team, while I don't think it has a bad, I don't think I have a bad matchup against DRA's team. Trick Room could definitely be a problem for my draft for sure, because my draft also has Trick Room and his Melmetal could take advantage of that really easily. And then I forget who else I play, but looking at my schedule, so our last week is, oh, you know what, mid is the other one, and I don't think I'm beating mid team if I'm being honest. We actually play him next week, and I'll be honest, I think that's going to be going in preparing to not lose as much differential as possible, because I don't have G-Max or Urshifu counterplay. I barely had regular Urshifu counterplay, and on top of that, he also has Gengar, which also kind of destroys my team, besides, like, Zarude, quote-unquote. So I'm going into that game honestly just preparing to lose differential. So I really needed the differential against this game. So I am sorry to Max about that. I genuinely am. If you guys did enjoy, however, somehow, leave a like down below. We're taking on mid next week. I'm hoping I don't get 6-0. I genuinely think I might get, like, well, I don't know about 6-0, but I'm probably gonna get like 3-4 out at least. But we'll hope it's not a wash. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys.